Claude Cowork is the closest thing that I've used in the AI space that actually feels like a real human coworker. It could access files on my computer. It could use data across the apps I already use. It could run multiple tasks at the same time and run for a long time. And it's actually helped me get some real work done already. In this video, I want to show you exactly what Claude Code is capable of, and I have 7 hands-on and practical examples to show you, and I will also show you how to combine it with other powerful Claude features like Claude Projects, custom skills from Claude connectors, and a few other things too. Now, I'll put a link in the description to the Claude website here where you could download the app. This is the desktop app for Mac or for Windows. You have to download it as a desktop app, and you do require a paid plan to get the Cowork option. It starts at $20 a month though with the monthly subscription, but that's still going to be limited. I was able to run a few real tasks with the Cowork option with that $20 plan, but I ended up actually upgrading to the $200 a month plan. I'll show you all the pricing options towards the end here. Once you install the app, this is going to be your workspace. And if you look on top, you have Claude Chat. This is same as Claude.ai website, where you could just chat with any other Claude models, upload documents, build dashboards, all kinds of different things you could do with Claude already just on your desktop now. Then you have Cowork. This is going to take things to the next level, okay? So this is an agentic platform that helps you get actual work done. And all the use cases and the focus of this video is gonna focus on this Cowork option. And then you have a third tab. This is called Claude Code. You could actually build entire apps using Claude Code. This is the best and most advanced platform right now for vibe coding. So I will save this for entirely another video. Lately, I'll be making a ton of different vibe coding videos. So Claude Code is definitely next on my list. So the very first example I want to show you here is organizing screenshots on your computer. Now, right here, you could also choose a different folder on your computer. So in my case, I moved everything to my Dropbox and gave it access to that desktop, and it was able to look into my screenshots. This is something I've been trying to build for a long time, and I've never found an app that works. This will help you organize screenshots on your desktop, and it will create folders on your desktop. It will move things for you. This is not just telling you how to do it. This will do it for you. So I give it this prompt right here, but this is one of the default prompts, the very first prompt I used when I first tested out Claude Cowork. Then the other option they have is you could actually choose different Claude models. Recently, Opus 4.6 came out. Usually, whenever a new model comes out with Claude, it's going to be right on top. It's going to be the best model. The Opus models are the best one, then Sonnet, then Haiku. So the reason why I think they have this option is, well, this will use a lot of credits usually, but it will do by far the best job, especially if you have extended thinking turned on. But if you want to really preserve your credit, depending on your task, you may want to start with like a Sonnet model, Sonnet 4.5 in this case. Now, once I ran that prompt, this went through the folder that I gave it access to. It only had specifically access to that one folder, and it found 2,900 different screenshots just in the last couple of years. The reason why I have a lot of screenshots is because I use them to upload to different LLMs, and I could never go and find one. They're all just labeled screenshot. It's not very helpful. Well, this is gonna help me organize it. So what it did was it actually created the to-do list for itself. It started with 10 screenshots here, and it was able to organize it. Then I told it to continue, and it kept doing that. Let me show you the result here in my Finder. So Claude Cowork created a folder called Screenshot Organized, and within that folder, it created these different folders. I did not do any of this. This is literally the result from that prompt. And then all these files called Screenshot, it was able to look at them, figure out what they're about, and then move them to these individual folders. And then on top of that, it renamed the file. So it was called Screenshot. Well, it renamed it to what it was about. And so far, it's only gone through about 50 or so screenshots here for this demo, but I'm gonna have it continue and do all 2,900 screenshots. And I might even find the other ones before 2024 and just let this organize everything on my computer for me. So if your computer is cluttered, well, this will help you organize just about anything. Okay, the second use case I think is really gonna show you what Claude Cowork is capable of. It's gonna create an entire marketing campaign for us. So if you are a solo entrepreneur, a small business owner of any kind, and you're launching a new product, this is going to do all the work for us. Because a lot of times we're going to have some assets already, right? We're going to have product photos, we're going to have some descriptions, target audience, competitor analysis, but they're files usually on our computer or in Google Drive or something like that. So in this case, I have these documents already, right? So I put them in a folder called Marketing Director. There's brand guidelines, there's some analysis, there's some pictures here I created with AI. I also generated the logo with AI just as a demo here, and there's a product specs. You can also give Claude Cowork access to things like Google Drive. That will use something called connectors. I'll show you an example of this, and there's other things that we'll look at here in upcoming examples. But right now, I'm actually gonna choose a different folder, the Marketing Director folder, and I'm gonna give it access to that folder. So each time you wanna give it access to a folder, and it will use the files in that folder, and it will also be able to create files within that folder, keeping everything nice and organized as you create it. And my prompt here is to create a complete marketing campaign for this product called EcoFlow. Again, this is just a demo that I'm doing, but I told it everything about the product. I also told it what the different files that I'm giving it access to are called. And then I told it the different things I wanted to do. This has full web access, so it could do research for you. It could, again, analyze things for you. It could also create content for you. Now, what it does is it already looked at all the different files I gave it access to, and it pulled it into the context of this conversation. It also went and found these things called skills. So Claude will use these skills to know how to do specific things. There are some skills that come off the shelf. There are some skills you could custom make. We'll talk about skills here in a little bit, but by default, it found these skills here for the context of what it needs to do, like creating PowerPoints, for example. And then you'll see the progress on top. It's created a checklist for itself of 7 different things in this case. And as it's going through its work, it's checking things off one by one. So very agentic. This is how agentic AI works. So after about 10 minutes, Claude Cowork created all these different documents for me. So PDFs, PowerPoints, things for websites like landing pages. And then I actually followed up and said, now create different blog posts for me. Let me show you the result here on my desktop. This entire folder and every single document you see here was created with that prompt, that single prompt, just one follow-up to get these blog posts here. So our ad campaigns are all laid out here, headlines, descriptions, and it's super, super detailed. I was going through this, and it's actually really, really great for Meta ads, Google ads. It created entire blog posts that are just ready to copy and paste here with headlines. It created a newsletter here for us with full details on how that should be laid out. It even created an HTML document, a landing page here. It created a document for us for A/B testing different things like different headlines and so on. Again, all the formatting, everything was done. I have not touched anything. It created this entire formatted PowerPoint presentation for us. And then finally, it gave us an entire marketing plan strategy, a 30-day launch plan, and broke things down literally day by day here for us to follow. I mean, how incredible is that? Look at the amount of work it saved us now just from a single prompt. Hopefully you could already see with those couple examples what Claude Cowork is capable of. And I have 5 more examples here that actually combine it with more advanced tools too. But I want to share a free resource to help you get the most out of Claude Cowork. HubSpot created the Claude Cowork Stack. It's a collection of 12 advanced prompts designed to replace about a week of work. You'll be able to find ready-to-use prompts that you could just copy and paste into Claude Cowork, covering everything from competitive analysis to building full marketing campaigns. And this is not just a simple prompt book. These prompts are actually structured specifically for Claude Cowork, and you could customize them obviously for your exact use case. My favorite part of this was the marketing campaign builder prompt that I actually just covered in the previous example. I borrowed from this guide and built on it. You could grab your free copy using the link in the description. Thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video and for creating this Claude resource. It was the perfect fit for the Claude Cowork video I was creating today. The next use case is actually using Claude Cowork to help you prepare for a meeting, something that comes up all the time. I've already been using different AI tools to help me with this, but this actually takes it to the next level. So here's the prompt I'm going to use for this. I have a meeting with, you'll type in the company name and the date here. I put Anthropic here as just a demo here. I actually don't work with them, but I like to work with them. Before researching, ask me the following question and then give me this type of research: company overview, recent news. So this is sort of like a deep research, but very tailored to you. I have another folder called meeting prep that I have on my desktop. So it has all my previous notes that I've taken on this company. Then the next thing you could do is you could actually give it access to things that you use already. Connectors will let you do a drive search. So a lot of our content is either in Google Drive, it's in Notion, it's in Slack. So I could give it access to that by connecting it, right? The Chrome option is also already turned on to be able to look on different websites. You could also access your calendar here. So I don't even have to specifically tell it who the meeting is with. It could actually go and find that out too. Okay, now I've connected it to my calendar here with the same Google account that I usually store my meetings, and I'm gonna send this out now. And this is just a one pager I asked for to help me prepare for that meeting. So it gave me the company overview at a glance here. It gave me the direction here. It also gave me where they're expanding, the different opportunities here that I could talk about, the AI safety they focus on, key people. I mean, that is extremely useful information to help you prepare for a meeting. And it's just a one pager, something I could quickly glance at and get ready for a meeting in 5-10 minutes. Now, this next one is really simple, but super practical. Pretty much all of us are gonna do this at some point. This is gonna help me plan an entire business trip. You could also do this for personal trips. And by the way, I didn't show you this, but the way I get these type of prompts is I just go to the chat mode right here and I ask Claude with a few back and forth conversation and telling it what I need to craft a prompt for Claude Cowork. That's all I do. I actually don't write out these prompts in this level of detail. And then I copy and paste it into Claude Cowork. And again, I always do create a new folder here. So when it's creating different documents, the output is already organized, which saves you a ton of time. You don't have to move files on your computer from folder to folder. Okay, for the business trip here, again, it created a bunch of different files for us, but they're stored on my desktop. Let me show you that. We have an expense report tracker here. So all the different things you would want to track, they are already ready with placeholders. I could always update that. This is just an Excel sheet it created for us. It created a day-by-day itinerary breakdown here of exactly all the different things we might want to look at. It even created a checklist, a packing list, including the temperature on exactly what to pack. I mean, that is extremely useful. It created this page for hotel options. I mean, this is on my desktop right now, but how cool is this? It's giving me the budget range. It's really organized everything into almost a ready to publish web page. I could view things on the map and I could book it. Now, there are agents that could actually book things for you too. I just don't think they're quite good enough yet. That will be the very next step here. As they get really good, I will include those kind of examples where it just goes and books the hotels and knows our credit card and things like that. But right now, I just don't think they're quite there yet. And finally, it has a trip prep note on exactly what to do the week leading up to it and the different information about the conference. Again, one prompt got this result here from Claude Cowork. Now for this next one, I want to show you how to use Claude Cowork to organize your entire week, and we'll use the connector here and have it access our Google Calendar. So all I need to do is I need to make sure I turn on the connectors here and give it access to Google Calendar if I haven't already. And the prompt basically says, I have my Google Calendar open and ready to review and edit. First, review my calendar, show me where I have different gaps for 2 hours plus, and before proposing any changes, do the following, and then show me the top 3 to 5 different proposal changes here to optimize my week. Start with the highest impact, and then once approved, make the edits directly in my calendar one at a time. Okay, so for this next one, it was able to look into my calendar, see all the events I had that week, and then it gave me proposals here on how to optimize it after he asked me a set of questions here. So if I look at the progress here, it went through all these different steps to be able to give me that. And eventually, it gave me all the different things that I should add to optimize my week in the gaps that I currently have on my calendar. And it created these ICS files. These are calendar files that I could quickly, with one click, add to my Google Calendar. And here's just a demo calendar I have, but just with one click, I was able to add all of those to my Google Calendar. These deep work, all the ones that are labeled deep work, Those are the ones that Claude Cowork decided to propose to me, and as soon as I accepted it, they were added again in one click to my calendar here. Now for this next one, Claude Cowork is going to create an entire branded presentation and all the slide decks here so we could just download it directly from this app. For this one though, I want to show you how to combine this with something called Claude Projects that has been around for a while, but I'll show you an exact use case here. I'm going to go to the chat window here and I'll open up the side panel and we're going to go to this projects tab. Now, I'll press new project, and this is what you could do here with this one. This one is going to be my presentation style system. So instead of figuring out where that document is for it or looking in my Google Drive, I'm going to give it access to my project, which defines exactly how we create presentations and slideshows. And to create these, all you have to do is give it a name and then give it what you're trying to achieve. This projects is how branded presentation decks should look and feel. And I'm going to go ahead and create that from here. Okay, now here, if you haven't created projects before, you could do a couple of different things. This is going to have a set of instructions that it will follow. So I am going to give it that. And you could also upload different files. In this case, I have files that I'm going to upload as PDFs. So let me upload those. Now, just to show you what I uploaded here, I created a visual brand guideline. So that's your brand colors, typography, logo usage. I created how the slide layout should be for each slide here. And I also created one on just design standards here on how we use charts and data. Then if I want, I could combine that with a set of system instructions here to tell it exactly what to do each time. So this will use this at the project level. And anytime you start a new chat inside of Claude in a project, this will use it. So these are Claude projects. I've covered them before, but now you could combine all these different things with Cowork. So if I go back here and if I press the plus sign, I could include that presentation style now, and you really could take this to the next level when you combine projects with your instructions here. All right, our presentation is ready. We got a PDF and a PowerPoint, and it's followed our prompt exactly right. The colors are right. The styling is right. It pulled in the details in the Claude projects on how to use bar charts here. I mean, that looks awesome. Now, I want to show you a more advanced use case here, combining Cowork with plugins. So these plugins are basically custom skills to have this do more for you than what is capable of off the shelf. So Anthropic, the company that makes Claude, they have some already. You could also add them from an entire marketplace from GitHub. And you could also create and upload your own skills, which I will have a different video all about that one. So right now, I'll show you the Anthropic ones. They have different ones for customer support, data, finance, legal, marketing. I'm going to show you the sales one here. So I'm going to go ahead and install this one here. If you click on manage, these are also fully manageable. But just for the sake of this video, we don't need to manage it. We'll use completely the off-the-shelf one. And I'm also going to give it access to a folder I created for this. My folder has some outreach examples of previous emails I've sent. It has my offer here, and it has the target accounts. So the prompt is really simple. It's basically going to use the sales skills to help turn this target list into real outreach. And it explained the different files that are here. Again, I used the chat here to come up with this prompt after a couple back and forth conversations here. And I give it some guidelines on exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, it's created this document for us. So these are the accounts that it has prioritized, ranked them exactly like I wanted from 1 to 10. It's also giving me the outreach message with the exact email I could copy and paste here. It also included follow-up emails, even a LinkedIn message, and they are personalized to every single person. I mean, how many pages is that? I mean, that's 26 pages of information. If you've done any type of sales call in the past, I mean, how fantastic is this to get this from just a single prompt here? And with Claude Cowork, it's not like I just gave it a prompt and got a result and I'm done. This is just like any chat inside of Claude. You could continue to ask it for more, for refinements, for additional resources, and you could continue that conversation as long as you like. Now, let me quickly show you the pricing. So the $20 monthly plan, if you pay monthly, that gets you Claude Cowork and Claude Code too. But again, it's going to be limited on how much usage you get out of it. I actually quickly hit my limit here. This is the plan I used to have. So I ended up upgrading it to the max plan. Now the max plan is dependent on usage, starts at $100, but right now I believe I'm paying $200 for that. And they also have Team and enterprise plan that also unlocks Claude Code and Claude Cowork. Now, hopefully it's really obvious that Claude Cowork is one of the closest updates in AI that I've ever tested that feels like a real human assistant and is such an important upgrade for knowledge work. I've already used it to save a ton of time. There was a task with our newsletter, a problem actually that we couldn't solve in almost 3 months. This solved it in a matter of minutes by being able to actually work on files that are on our computer. So I think you're really gonna enjoy it if you do any type of knowledge work like some of the examples I showed you. And if you wanna dive deeper, we're actually gonna release an entire Claude course on our platform covering things related to Cowork, related to Claude Code, and that's going to be coming out real soon. Our platform, if you haven't heard of it before, is called Skill Leap. It's basically an entire platform designed to teach you how to effectively use AI using some of the latest and greatest tools. We keep it up to date as much as possible, and we have nearly 30 courses with 6 different instructors, including myself, and it lets me do things where I just can't do on YouTube. We put things in linear order, learning path, downloadable resources, community where you could ask us any questions at any time and we get back to you very quickly. I'll put a link to a 7-day free trial in the description. You could try it completely risk-free. And if it's a good fit, it's a simple month-to-month subscription. I also recently made a video all about vibe coding that I'll put right here. Thanks for watching.